Okay, let's start right away because we've got quite a lot of tips to go over. Number one, starting with the most basic tip, but also my most asked one. If you don't know how to access the DLC, you're going to have to complete the main story's chapter 3 and unlock the guild quests at the base camp. Then you're going to find this mysterious tent in the northeast area of your base camp. Number two is you need to take part in Ginormosia and complete area challenges, as well as sell vegetables and find leaves scattered around so you can get Cashnuts. Dawn is going to give you a few when you start Snoozeland's tutorial, but you'll probably need more. Every time you use the bed to sleep and go to Snoozeland and do your run, you're going to spend 3 Cashnuts. And if you want to reset the next destination in Snoozeland, you're gonna need 10. Number 3 is when you start, I recommend always picking up a combat class first because you're bound to run into a lot of enemies and you're gonna need to farm them for materials to quickly level up and then use these materials in something else that we'll get into in a second. Number 4 is in each area, you'll find plenty of wooden boxes and barrels. Smash these because you're gonna get lots of useful potions. Number 5 is related to this one. Don't forget to assign these potions to your bag to easily access them. In fact, always check your items because you're gonna be surprised how many things you might have picked up and you weren't even aware of them, and they're gonna help you a lot in the boss challenges. Number 6 is to move from area to area. You'll have a quest to complete before the gate opens up, so make sure to prioritize that and keep moving from gate to gate as soon as possible to find where the final boss is. Remember, you only have 20 minutes, so knowing where the final boss is going to be very useful. Make sure to get to that first. However, with tip number 7, I will say if you found the final boss's teleportation ring, it doesn't mean you can't unlock more gates and explore more areas. Now, you know, if you go to an area that you haven't unlocked, you're going to lose a lot of HP. So you should go to new areas because every boss has a required amount of points you'll need to take it down easily. So make sure to keep leveling up, getting better equipment before you go and defeat the boss, and this is extremely important if you're doing these as a solo run. Number 8 is I suggest in each area to prioritize taking down mini bosses that are marked on your map because these will give you the most XP points to level up, but also they will give you materials that you can use with the alchemy bots, or these materials will contribute to how many dream points you have in the end that you can exchange for new items at Dawn's shop. Number 9, speaking of these alchemy robots, remember that each one will prefer a specific type of material, and if it prefers something that is already available in your bag, you will see this icon here, which means you're gonna get extra points for them. So maybe prioritize these before you give away a lot of stuff that you're probably not getting a lot of points for because the alchemy robot doesn't really care about that material. Number 10 is that the bots are also how you get these gold clusters that Dawn loves, and this is your way of getting some extra cool items from his shop. These are random drops and you can get them from this golden bot, but I've also seen that the more I use a regular bot and feed it materials, the higher the chance is of me receiving a golden cluster. And make sure to use all of the golden clusters because they're not going to carry over to the new run that you take. Just like your materials, just like your level, just like everything else, you're gonna start from 0 every time. Number 11 is that you can toss in materials to these alchemy bots and then gather more and come back because these bots act as a fast travel point. But also you don't have to worry about like, oh my god, I need to give in all the points or it's just gonna be like this or nothing. No, you can give it some, get more materials, come back to it, and this is also very helpful if you're playing with friends because you can all contribute together. And if you're playing with friends, once the bot spits out the rewards, the game will clearly show you which reward belongs to you, which belongs to your friends, and everyone will get a piece of the pie. Number 12 is that if your friends open up a machine and they get rewards for it, but you're busy, you know, doing something else, maybe you're trying to open up the gates and make things faster, I want to let you know that the game will show you these light beams as you look around and you can know where the treasure is. So this applies to other equipment, weapons, and other drops that your friends might have opened up but you didn't get the chance to get to them because maybe you couldn't communicate on Discord or game chat or whatever the case may be. And this is a perfect segue to tip number 13 is even if you don't want an item, keep it on you because it will help you get more dream points for when you reach Dawn's Bazaar at the end. You see, things like the red chest might initiate you to pick one item out of the variety that it will tell you, so you can either equip it or keep it in your inventory. There are other items items that will be dropped down individually, and you can decide to either pick it up or not. When I was doing the first runs, I was actually leaving a lot of stuff because I was looking at it and I'm like, yeah, it's not really making my weapon better or anything like this, so let me leave it. But I forgot that actually everything that I accumulate will help with the dream points in the end. So literally hoard everything. Tip number 14 is if you want to get a lot of dream points, prioritize things that have a 5-star rating, which means they are very rare. And this is where you need to balance when you get a few options to choose from. Do you want to get that better weapon, or do you want to pick up that valuable treasure to get lots of dream points from Dawn? Tip 15 is that the Alchemy robots have a cooldown of 1 minute, so you can spam them as long as you have enough materials. But also don't forget that you still need a lot of materials as well for Dawn's shop. However, the gold bots can only be used once. Tip 16 is make sure to look vertically when you're exploring, because you might see a boss's icon on the minimap or the map itself and be like, where the heck is that? When this happens, you need to climb up a certain platform and you will find the boss. But also, even if there's no boss there, a lot of the times there is a lot of hidden red chests that you could have missed because you weren't exploring vertically and you're just going horizontally the whole time. Tip 17 is that if you haven't played since the game came out, one of the patches actually added the ability to use your mount, and you can then easily climb up cliffs. To get this, you need to play the game in solo mode, go to Monsieur Cobra in this area of Gynermosia, and in exchange for 30 Cashnuts, he's gonna teach you how to do it. This, again, when you have only 20 minutes, getting off your mount, on your mount all the time is just gonna take up time, so you can literally climb cliffs while you're mounting your mount. And don't forget, you can also pick up treasure and resources from the floor without having to get off your mount. Hello, you gorgeous human being, it's Miss Bubbles. If this video has been helpful so far, squish the like and subscribe buttons. And if you've been enjoying my content and you want to support me further, I will leave the links to my Patreon, Coffee, and YouTube memberships down in the description box. Every little bit goes a long way so I can keep making videos like this for you. Now, tip 18 is that while you're playing, if you went back and forth between a few gates and you forgot where the next one is, you can see this icon on your screen that tells you where it is, so you don't have to be lost and confused. Tip 19 is that if you're playing with your friends, remember that you can teleport to them, because that saved me many times, and if you've never played with them before, you probably didn't know that. Well, yeah, you can teleport to them. Tip number 20 is that based on my playtime, the timer is set to 20 minutes. But even if you find the warp point to the boss in 10 minutes, you're always gonna end up with 3 minutes to beat the boss. Similarly, even if you warp to the boss when you only had a few seconds left, the time will still reset to give me 3 minutes to beat the boss. Tip 21 is very straightforward, but it's something that you might forget, which is use the items in the boss fight. I know a lot of us RPG players will hoard literally everything and then forget to use them. Tip 22 is that the first few times you finish a run and reach Dawn's shop, you might feel underwhelmed with the items available. Remember that these will be random every time, but also you need to level up the shop's rank to unlock more and more of the new set, mounts, hairstyles, decor, emotes, etc. that level 5 has added with the new DLC. Tip 23 is that at shop rank 3, which I did not reach yet, you can unlock the polish feature in the main game. This gives your tools or weapon a visual change where you can now see this aura, but it also increases its stats and it has a chance of triggering a boost effect. You need the blacksmith, alchemist, or carpenter life and a workbench to access the polish feature. Tip 24 is that drowsy mimics appear often when playing solo or with friends. Now, you don't need to fight this one unlike the ones in the base game. Instead, you have to simply touch it. And when you do, you will get a variety of effects. Either you get the headbang, which means you're going to one-hit everything. You can get the devilish effect, where items are just gonna start disappearing from your inventory. Or you might get the angel effect, which I still am not sure what it does, so if you know, let me know. Or finally, you might get teleported to somewhere new. This can be a treasure room with lots of chests, which by the way, you can get all of them. Or it can be a room with enemies, and then you have a chest at the end. But keep in mind that if you're playing with your friends, only one person can get the effect from the drowsy mimic. Tip 25 is that when you're choosing one item from a variety of options, so let's say because you've opened up a red chest, I highly recommend that you pick up this potion if you see it, because it's going to give you a lot of crit damage, and this one is so useful, especially when you're at the final boss, be it playing solo or with your friends. Tip 26 is that don't forget to get the flippin' treasure at the end of the boss fight, because you only have like what, 10 seconds if I'm not mistaken, and actually myself and one bubbly member forgot to take the treasure at the end when we were streaming, and that meant that we did the boss fight but we never got the extra dream points to spend at Dawn's, and that's pretty annoying. Tip 27 is that if you die, don't worry. First, if you destroy the barrels and the boxes that I told you about, and you kept exploring, you're gonna realize that you have a lot of life cures which you can use. And if you're playing with friends, you can also resurrect them if they don't have any. But if you run out of life cures and you die, you still get taken to Dawn's Bazaar, and you can still redeem the dream points in exchange for the many items that you've collected, if of course you have collected any. Tip 28 is that this DLC can make it easy for you if you struggle to farm for things like the legendary Dawn Horn and other materials. So if you were at endgame and you cared about these endgame weapons, this is one of the easier ways to get these rare materials. Tip 29 is that if you have a few lives that you did not pay a lot of attention to, you can buy this EXP sphere from Dawn and use it to get 10,000 XP. In our stream, it helped me level up a lot of my lives that I did not pay a lot of attention to, mainly the crafting ones, but I did realize that you get the most benefits when you're around level 1 to 35 at best. At around level 55, like my magician, I saw that I would need a lot of these EXP spheres to even level up once. Tip number 30 is related to a bug that a lot of players are running into, so if level 5 hasn't cleared it yet, this is how you can combat it. If you are playing and you are sure that you have opened up the gate for the next area and you're trying to go there but the game won't let you, this is not your fault. The game is actually bugged, and seems like the best way to get over it is to completely restart your game. It's not a fun solution, but unfortunately this is the best way to overcome it. And if you want the best tips and tricks for the game in general, our bubbly community loved this video that I made. It's gonna give you so many useful tips. I'd love to see you there. Thank you to my YouTube and Patreon bubblies who make videos like this possible, and a shout out goes to the games I mentioned, Jake Logan, Stella, and Yugoslav for going the extra mile. Until next time, stay bubbly.